The Hawthorn Story. The sun goes up, the sun goes down, the earth keeps turning round and round. So it was, the wheel of the seasons had turned from dark to light, from cold to warmth. It was a beautiful, bonny May morning, and the birds sang sweetly as the sun rose from his short sleep. Over the hills he climbed, up, up, until, with all his strength, his strong rays awoke and warmed all that walked, crawled, flew, and swam. Hare stood in the middle of the meadow, amongst the cowslips, warming his back, whilst the grasses rose and grew to the sound of bees humming happily. At last the flowers were growing. At last the trees were pushing out their fresh green shoots and fragrant blossom. Sweet smells and spells to make the world happy danced on the butterfly's wings, and the blackbird, catching his first morning worm, rejoiced from the top of the hawthorn tree. And the hawthorn tree, or May tree, as it is also known, was happy. She had suffered this long winter, as had all the creatures she was home to. She shook her branches and gazed into the clear spring water beneath her. Yes, she could see her dark thorny branches glowing with a greening. And the longer she gazed, she saw the tight wee buds on her branches opening to the call of summer. She had waited so long, and now she would be Queen of the May for all to see. First came the cuckoo and the blackbird to nestle in her snow-white veil. Then Hare to drink from the spring, and there he rested for a while, dreaming of juicy long grass to nest in, and rest in the summer through. The birds weren't the only ones awakening. The township was busy preparing to leave for the sheelings, the summer pastures. Spinning wheels, butter churns, looms, the young and old with their cattle and calves would journey up the hills, but not before a day of celebration. Barefoot girls ran from the houses, crossing the bridge and into the meadow. May-tree called to them, shaking gently her branches, causing the fragrance of her flowers to carry on the gentle breeze. And the girls ran to her, sang to her, and sat beneath her waiting arms, cupping hands into the spring, cooling those rose-red cheeks and thirsty mouths. Then each of them tore a strip of cloth from her skirt, and making a wish, tied it to the old fairy wishing tree, and bent a part of the branch, leaving it hanging, saying, "May tree, fairy tree, which boy will marry me? Raven-haired or flaxen-browned? This night my dreams will see." Baskets were filled with the dreamy scented flowers from hawthorn's branches to make the crowns for this summer's morning. And there the girls entwined their willow circles and flowers, blossom, happy kisses and songs. Every now and then sprinkles of tiny white flowers would fall upon their hair. May-tree was blessing them with her summer scents and love. And they looked like the fairy folk themselves that lived in the mossy mound beneath the tree. Suddenly the sound of a cow horn being blown told the girls that their families were walking over to the meadow with their cattle and sheep. 2 fires were kindled, and the cattle herded through the smoke to be blessed before the young men leapt over the flaming Beltane fires. Father's sun rose high in the sky, and all below danced as the drummer beat and the piper piped, and the songs sang with the blackbirds, thrush, and the cuckoo. And round the circle burrowed like the very sun himself. Just before the sun sank behind the mountains, a young girl ran to the hawthorn tree. "I haven't forgotten your kindness," she whispered as she took off her crown and hung it from the tree. Then, sprinkling fresh milk into a small hollow stone beneath the tree, she skipped and danced across the field, wondering what her dreams might bring this eve. And that night, when the birds had nestled down with their heads beneath their wings, and Hare leapt and danced in his dreams, what could be seen by the light of the silvery moon? Was it the fairy folk singing and supping the milky gift from the stone bowl? Only the hawthorn tree could tell you. So go lay beside her on a warm summer's day and see what dreams she brings you.